iRadio.
Joining us, it is 1:07 on this Thursday, right? It's Thursday, Bridgette?
It is Thursday.
We're one
Good,
day
we can
away
make
from
it
a
work.
one day away from a finally Friday, and then our upcoming weekend. And weather is shaping up to be pretty nice over the next few days before it turns humid and hot. And I'll touch on that here
Ah,
coming up in just a few moments. I'm meteorologist Justin Storm. I'm with Ag Director Bridgette Readel, and we're going to get a quick update on a fun little game that we'll be playing today and on Monday. Where is Bridgette today?
she is in her pickup, which is like a sweatbox because it's 100 degrees down here in Downs, Illinois, ladies and gentlemen. She's a bit warm, just
Ooh,
saying.
that's a little warm
Yeah,
indeed.
it is a little warm. In fact, I am hoping I'm going to keep an eye on the temperature gauge that my vehicle doesn't overheat while I'm running it. But just stepped outside. I am here with Horsch. They are a company based out of Germany. We were listening to one of the owners and founders, Philip Horsch, and he was talking about the situation that's going on overseas as a German-based company that also has production plants in Russia, here in Mapleton, North Dakota as well. And I get to be part of their guest speaker lineup today and tomorrow. And after this, I'm going out to drive new tractors and sprayers. Be jealous, Justin. I get to drive the equipment
Yeah,
today.
a little bit. What are you going to be, do you know what you'll be driving?
For sure, I am going to be in one of their new sprayers. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. It's got a little bit of a European design. It sort of looks like a bullet going down the field with the wings, with the
Really?
booms out behind it, really evenly balanced. I'm looking forward to giving that a try. It's also probably the highest clearance sprayer on the market right now. And additionally, we're going to take some tillage tools out and look at how they are knocking down the cover crop and corn in some of these field plots that we have out here. So I'm going to go destroy stuff is essentially what I'm going to do today. It's going to be great.
Cool. Right on. That sounds like a fun time to me. Hey, what's that? I got a trivia question for you, and I don't know if you're going to do it. Jacob probably knows the answer to this, but what is the name of the giant bullet from Super Mario Brothers?
No idea.
No idea.
No idea.
Huh. I wonder if I hope that's what they name the sprayers, whatever the name of that is from Super Mario. Bullet Bill. Bullet Bill is what his name was. And I hope they
Okay.
name the sprayer Bullet Bill.
I will ask if that's a possibility. I'm not really sure. Again, this is European. They might not find this nearly as funny as you and I do, right?
Yeah, maybe not. Who knows?
We're
Hey,
going to
phone
try
numbers to the
though.
program on the Red Wing Shoes phone line. That's 701-293-9000 if you want to join in on our conversation at any point during the show. Again, that's 701-293-9000. Or you can always reach us via email at weatherorag@flagfamily.com. I was kind of teasing on the weather a little bit here, and I'm going to get to that in just a second. But coming up on the show today, our guest that'll be joining us here in about 10 minutes or so is Andy Pasztour. Correct? Pasztour? And he's from
Pasztour, yes.
Ontario. He is a farmer who created his own soap for John Deere. So we're going to learn all about Andy Clean Soap for John Deere and what it took to get there. And it's got its own part number with John Deere, doesn't it?
It does. It's very cool. He also, many people are going to say, why would you worry so much about getting your equipment clean? Well,
You spend
let's
a lot
ask
of
Andy
money
that.
on it.
Yeah, it matters, right? You want to
Keep it
have
nice and
all the
clean.
mud and whatnot taken off. So you want to make sure that it's taken care of. And so I would say that this is a great opportunity. I know for a fact it's been used on a fish house because did that in my yard, and Andy's got a good product. It's going to be fun to hear how he did this with John Deere, and he gives out stickers. So if you do a really good job of cleaning things, he's going to give you an Andy Clean sticker to go right along with it. It's very neat.
Right on it. And I was just going to add, why is it important to keep your equipment clean? Well, you spend a lot of money on it. You want it to look nice. And even in the farming simulator games, I spray off all of my equipment after I use it because it gets dirty and
Really?
it gets muddy. So I clean it off
That's
before I put
good.
it back in the garage.
Way to be an outstanding farmer over there, Justin.
Yeah, we're going to have
Yeah,
to talk with
that's pretty
him
awesome.
and the guys over at Giant or Giant, however you pronounce that software company. Maybe they need to get some Andy Clean soap mods going on their farming simulator games. So that'll be a fun
Well,
conversation starting here in about 8 minutes or so.
and remember, Horsch is one of the companies that was at the start of the farming simulator game. So it's rather a unique connection that I'm here with them today and you're talking about the simulator.
Yeah, well, maybe you'll have to bring it up with them as well. They probably have better contacts over there than I do. They're just going to see,
I'll
oh,
see what I've.
another hate email from a customer. Why don't you have this in your game? Other things coming up on the show today. We got a few ag topics that we're going to tackle at some point throughout today, and that's anthrax is confirmed in Minnesota. We got pasture management for great grass for livestock. And I'm still hoping someone's going
Mhm.
to call in and tell me how the whole magnet in the cow stomach thing works because I'm still curious about that. So, Dr. Emily Fox, if you're listening, or if someone else knows, give us a call, 701-293-9000. And our other ag topic that we'll get to is confusion about animal welfare. So before we get into one of those, Bridget, I'm just going to run through the next 4 days and then tease next week on the forecast. It's looking
Good
pretty
deal.
nice. They're almost typical end of July days is what we're dealing with for the next 4 days. Although over the weekend it will start to tick up a little bit in temperatures, but we'll be just below average today, topping out at 80 degrees. We're currently at 76. North winds are at 14, and they'll stay between 10 and 20 through the rest of this afternoon. Getting a lot of blue sky, but we'll see more of those cumulus clouds popping up throughout this afternoon. And we do have some spots where skies are partly sunny in eastern North Dakota just because of how many cumulus clouds have popped up. For tonight, we clear things out down to lows in the upper 50s, light wind, and then that wind will tick back up a little bit, 5 to 15, gusting to 20 tomorrow. Partly cloudy to partly sunny at times, and there will be a few, I should say few, there will be numerous isolated little light showers around the area. So not everyone is going to see these, but a few of us, it might rain for a little bit, a couple times throughout the day. Don't cancel any plans. There's more dry hours than there are wet hours, and these little passing showers will pass by rather quickly. So if you got a baseball game or a soccer match Friday evening, Friday afternoon, maybe just pack an umbrella. You probably won't even need it, but at least you got something to protect you for 15 minutes while it rains with high temperatures in the mid 80s. And then there's just a slight chance for an isolated shower on Saturday. Otherwise, it's partly cloudy, a little breezy, mid 80s and upper 80s for Sunday with lots of sunshine.
I think that sounds pretty ideal.
It sounds like a nice little forecast. And for those that do get hit with those little tiny isolated showers, most of it will be a dime of rain or a tenth of an inch or less. But there'll be a few pockets where you could maybe see over a quarter inch. So a few people will get lucky. Most of us will remain on the dry side. But we can all hope that one of
That's
those little
right.
showers passes over our field.
That's what we're going for. We want to make sure that we continue to keep up with those little rain showers because they are important to the overall health of our crop as well as everybody else's around us. It's a great thing to remember.
Exactly. And speaking of our crop, I went out there yesterday, Bridget.
What do you think,
It
Justin? How's it look?
looks amazing. The beans are doing great. Granted, this is my first time farming. I have no idea, but in my opinion, they look amazing.
Good.
They're
I'm
like a
very
foot
glad
and a
you're
half
happy with
tall.
them.
Is that good? A foot and a half tall right now?
Well,
Or is that
considering where we're at in the
short?
growing season, there are some that got in sooner, so they might be taller, but I think we're going to do fine. Because here's the thing, we're not there to grow leaves. I mean, we are to an extent, right? That's what brings in all the nutrients to the plant along with the root structure, but we're there to grow beans. And so it's going to be way more
Hmm.
important once we have pod setting and how full are our pods. That's a big deal.
Yeah, we had lots of flowers and a
Good.
good handful of them, at least the bigger ones out of them. They have beans on them,
Mhm.
and they all have about 2 to 3 on the very lowest level right now, and then the mids and tops are starting to flower, so they're going to really start to thicken up here pretty soon. And if we can just get little timely rains, that'd be great.
It's kind of like watching your kids grow up, right, Justin? I think you're kind of enjoying that
Exactly,
right
but
now.
so much faster. Well, should we hit on an
Oh,
egg
well.
topic here
Th-
real quick and just move in there real fast before we get to our guest coming up here in a couple minutes?
We could. Which one do you want to touch on first? Because you only got a little bit of time left.
Why don't we just get our guests in? We'll tackle them in the last segment. How about that?
I'd like to do that, especially if we talk about anthrax, because there's probably going to be a lot of questions that go along with it. How's that?
Right. So program phone number again on the Red Wing Shoes phone line. That's 701-293-9000 if you want to call in with any questions. Or you can also reach us via email at weatherorag@flagfamily.com. We also live stream every single day on Facebook and YouTube Live whenever the software allows us to, because sometimes there are technical difficulties and YouTube gets a little fussy, but we do have live chats on there most of the time, so I periodically check those throughout the show, so you can drop comments on there as well. We're going to get Andy Pasztour on the line with us, and when we come back, we'll be talking about Andy Clean Soap. So stay tuned. Weather and Ag in Focus. We'll be right back.
Hope Electric invites and welcomes you to the fun of Hope Days, July 20th through 22nd, 2023. Car show, old-time tractor drive, street dance, great food, and family fun. Welcome from your friends at Hope Electric, specializing in the wiring and automation of grain handling facilities. From small farm sites to large commercial grain terminals, their computer automation and custom panel shop can save you time and money. Find out more at hopeelectric.com.
Hope Meats welcomes you to the family fun and activities of Hope Days 2023. Enjoy the parade, car show, old-time tractor drive, street dance, great food, and family fun at Hope Days. Buck invites you to stop in at Hope Meats and pick up some great meat for grilling. Also schedule your butchering. Hope Meats offers butchering and custom meat processing of beef, pork, lamb, bison, and wild game. Retail meats also available at Hope Meats, located at 302 Steel Avenue in Hope, North Dakota.
Welcome to Hope Days 2023 from your friends at Keith Irie Pioneer Seed. Enjoy the fun and events of Hope Days. Parade, car show, old-time tractor drive, street dance, great food, and something for just about everyone. We'll see you at Hope Days. From Keith Irie, Matt Powell, and Chelsea Beaton at Keith Irie Pioneer Seed of Hope, North Dakota. Pioneer Seed has leading products to meet your needs. Contact Keith Irie Pioneer Seed. They're here for you.
Mid-America Steel is looking for a full-time experienced truck driver. Hours are 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. with overtime available. CDL and clean driving record required. Starting pay $25 to $26 per hour. Company paid 401k, 9 paid holidays. Company paid $25,250 term life insurance policy. Short-term disability, paid vacation, and safety boot and prescription safety glasses allowance. This is the job you've been looking for. Apply quickly as this position will go fast. Email resume to John, SIMO at midamsteel.com.
At the end of a crazy day, let your stress wash away with the smooth taste of North Dakota Sweet Crude Orange. A new generation of taste from North Dakota Sweet Crude. The same smooth finish with a splash of orange. Enjoy a variety of drinks like Orange Crush, an Orange Fashioned, or an Orange and Rye Manhattan. 3 of more than 50 recipes using North Dakota Sweet Crude and Sweet Crude Orange you'll find at crudespirits.com. North Dakota Sweet Crude and Sweet Crude Orange. A great way to finish your day.
The recent hailstorm came fast and furious. If you know or even think your vehicle acquired hail damage, bring it to Bailey's Auto Body. Hi, I'm Kevin Bailey, and I want to invite you to stop by for a free inspection. Our staff is trained to identify all types of hail damage. From dents to damaged moldings and glass, we are your hail expert. We specialize in paintless dent repair and have repaired thousands of vehicles. Free estimates, no appointment needed. Bailey's Auto Body, north of the Cass County Jail, or online at baileysfargo.com.
Just take it to Bailey's!
Why do you listen?
It's just nice to have local.
I listen from 8 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night.
I just want to stay informed while I'm on the go.
It keeps me up to date with everything going on in the world.
When you put the lights on in the barn, the radio went on.
It moves pretty quick so I can get the message and get on with my day.
Oh, listen in the barn, skid loader, tractor, and just about anywhere you can.
Why do you listen? Go to whyilisten.com, tell us why you listen, and you have a chance to win $500. Visit whyilisten.com today.
The pets in our homes love us, from the moment they meet us until the day they leave us. Homeless animals would do the same if only they had the chance. Be an animal's hero and adopt. Turtle Mountain Animal Rescue has the perfect 4-legged family member for you right now. Find yours at turtlemountainanimalrescue.org.
and welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for Marie joining us at 1:22 this afternoon. And if you want to join in on the conversation, 701-293-9000 or email weather or ag at flagfamily.com. Quick check on that forecast, 122 this Thursday afternoon, 76 right now. Wind is out of the north at 14 miles an hour. Again, it's shaping up to be a pretty nice day with highs near 80, just a little bit on the breezy side for this afternoon. And again, we'll get a much more in-depth look at that forecast here in about 20 to 25 minutes. Again, I'm meteorologist Justin Storm, and I'm here with Ag Director Bridgette Readel, and we have our guest that'll be joining us, and that's Andy Pasztour, excuse me.
Pasztour.
And he's from Ontario. And Andy, are you there? Can you hear me over there, Andy?
Hooked up?
No, it looks like we might not have Andy here on the line.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
So, oh, there we go. I couldn't hear you there, Andy. How are you doing today?
good. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Oh, perfect. Doing pretty good. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, no problem. Bridgette, you want to start this off with Andy? Talk a little bit about what his soap is like?
Well, I think so, and it's even bigger than that. So, Andy, you're not next door. You're in Ontario. So tell us a little bit about your farm. What are you doing over in Ontario? Because people think, oh, he's in Canada. It's as cold as we are. But you're not.
No, actually, I'm south of North Dakota. Well, actually, that was a couple of years ago. I was out to Grand Forks, and that was the farthest north I've ever been. So yeah, when people think of Canada, they think of way up there, but actually we're in Ontario, about hours east of Detroit is where our farm is located. And actually right now we're combining. We just started today. We've got a few acres of that to do, and we're after that. And then we're also harvesting cucumbers right now too as we speak. So yeah, so a little bit about our farm is, yeah, we grow corn and beans. My brother Mike is a Pioneer dealer, and yeah, we all farm together, me, my dad, and my brother. So yeah, we have vegetables and then corn and beans and yeah, and a soap business too. So yeah.
Okay, so getting on to the soap business, what's your soil type like? So is it really sticky clays that require you to have to wash your machinery maybe more than the average bear, or why would you get so involved in wanting to keep the equipment clean?
No, actually, our soil is really sandy. Like, I would compare it to a beach volleyball court, right? Because actually Lake Erie is right across the road from us. So actually where we're located, we're in Norfolk County, and actually it's the sand plains of Norfolk County. So yeah, so tons of different crops are grown. Like, it's like the Salinas Valley mixed in with the mix as far as cropping goes. So it's very diverse. So you can be standing on an intersection and have like 4 different crops on each side of the road, right? So yeah.
Wow.
So, but as far as washing equipment, I've just always been a neat freak since day one. Part of it's genetics, because my mom and my grandma are like that. And then also I have a couple uncles on my dad's side who are kind of ill about keeping things clean. So I think I just got that when I was born. Yeah, so that's just a little bit about my cleaning stuff. So yeah.
So when you started out keeping things washed, and tell me if I've got this right, because I watched you on Twitter and other social media platforms, you'd wash things and you would just call it Andy-Clean. And pretty soon your neighbors would wash things and call it Andy-Clean as far as their farm equipment. And it just kept building from there. Is that true?
Yeah. So actually how that Andy-Clean hashtag came about is I didn't even make it up. It was actually a farmer named Robert Reese, and he's on Twitter, and yeah, he's from Lansing, Michigan. So what I do at the time is when I'm getting equipment ready, changing oils and just servicing them, I'd wash them after, right? Because there's not much else going on in the wintertime, right? So that's the perfect time to get everything ready. And then I just started taking pictures of what I was doing. I kind of felt kind of goofy just saying, oh, yeah, this is what I'm doing right now, and clean pictures of equipment, right? But it actually took a real liking to a lot of people, and I'm not the only one who's like that, right? So that's what I've known from Twitter. And yeah, so Robert just hashtagged one of my pictures, Andy Clean, and then it just kind of snowballed from there.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's been amazing. And okay, so as this has continued to build, did you not like soaps that were already available on the market? How did you get to the point where you're like, that's enough, I'm just going to build my own soap?
Yeah. So actually, this was, if you would have told me even 5 years ago that I'd have our own soap, I would have called you crazy, right? Because this is just something that kind of just came from a hashtag. And so basically what happened is how the hashtag grew and the soap came about is, I'll just give a quick backstory. So I went out in 2018. We went on a family vacation to Waterloo, Iowa, to the John Deere Craft Museum, me and my family. And yeah, I just sent it on Twitter to John Deere how Andy clean everything was, right? And then they ended up DMing me and asking me for my address. And they actually sent me a whole like a huge box of all their cleaning supplies, you name it, like their wax was in there, polish, window cleaner, whole bunch of different things, like their shop towels and everything. And I was kind of blown away. And then shortly after that, in the harvest of that year, I was at corn. I got a message and actually thought.
Hey, Andy, I'm going to have to cut you off right there, Andy, just for a second. Your connection's cutting in and out just a little bit. So we're going to try and get that connection a little stronger here. And while we do that, we're going to take just a short break to get that connection reestablished with Andy, and we'll rejoin this conversation here, and we'll get that portion of that explanation with what he was doing with John Deere answered here in just a moment. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
From breaking news,
pretty good sources that we have who are telling us several officers have been shot here.
Weather to sports.
We got a severe thunderstorm pushing over Fargo right now. It's very excessive, heavy rain.
WDAY radio is here when you need us.
Just a sign that does not look good. Police officers standing just outside the emergency room entrance.
When you need it, WDAY radio has it now. AM 970, FM 93.1, and online at WDAYradionow.com.
Jay Thomas will be live from Castleton July 27th for the 21st annual Cruise to Castleton Car Show. The free show features hundreds of classic cars with a raffle for a 1941 Chevy two-door sedan. Jay is doing his entire radio show live on location July 27th at 2 p.m. with interviews to preview the car show. Listen to the Jay Thomas Show on WDAY for the 21st annual Cruise to Castleton July 27th at 2 p.m.
What do eyewear and weather have in common? Join us for the Aspire Optical Eye on the Sky weekly weather forecast to find out. Each Tuesday morning, Dean Wysocki, Justin Storm, and myself, Ashley Freeborn, owner of Aspire Optical, will bring you the 7-day forecast.
You never know where we'll be or how it will be presented, but we promise to bring you the most accurate forecast this side of the Red River.
And learn how you can save big on eyewear from Aspire Optical.
Watch the Aspire Optical Eye on the Sky weekly weather forecast on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages.
Trust us, this is weather and eyewear like you've never seen.
We've got Brian in studio from Collins & Kronk Raymond James.
Brian, I was visiting with my girlfriend the other day, and she's just a few years from retirement. She was wondering if she can still retire if there's a recession just around the corner.
This is why planning is so important. When Collins & Kronk does a financial plan for you, we look at several different scenarios. We consider the positives, or the good times, as well as the bad. What if there is a recession? We do the math so we can answer your questions with confidence. We want to help you make smart decisions like when to retire or what investments to use.
Whether it's a recession or an economic boom, Collins & Kronk can help you make the right decisions. If you have $500,000 or more, call Collins & Kronk in Fargo today. 701-235-0119, 701-235-0119. Securities are offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Raymond James Financial Services Advisors, Inc. Collins & Kronk is not a registered broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pucklet Chevrolet Buick GMC in Valley City makes it easy to find your next Chevrolet Buick GMC or pre-owned vehicle by offering a great selection at our best prices possible.
Welcome back to WDAY Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Bridgette, Readel Ag Director, joined by meteorologist Justin Storm. And thank you to sponsors like Irie Insurance. So if you need help in anything here in the summer months with boat rides, water skiing, your RV, whatever items you've got out on the lake or in the parks, they can help you by insuring them, as well as doing work on your farm. Visit IrieInsurance.com. They're a Here We Grow sponsor for our soybean project, and we thank them for their involvement. And also for the Steffes Group. Steffes Group Auctions, they do a lot of online auctions, a few more in person. In fact, there's one next week out at West Fargo on Tuesday, a large ring equipment auction. But Justin and I are going to an auction sale in August, and that's one of our Here We Grow sponsors. We'll be doing a video out there. Justin, keep your hands down, man. Let's not buy too much. We got a budget.
I got Dean's credit card again.
The good news is whatever we buy, we are going to be able to make it look good by using Andy Clean soap. And so that is our guest today, Andy Pasztour. He is a farmer in Ontario, corn, soybeans, cucumbers, and then he's got a soap with John Deere. And Andy, before we had to take a moment and step away, you were explaining being on a vacation with your family in Iowa at John Deere. You DM'd them and they said, hey, dude, you want to build a soap? Is that what happened?
No, I wish that would be what happened. It would make things a lot simpler, but no. So basically, what they ended up doing is they ended up shipping me a bunch of cleaning supplies. And then after that, in the harvest, they actually designed the Andy Clean logo and shipped me about 1,000 Andy Clean stickers. And I had no idea that they were doing anything like this, right? So that's kind of how the whole Andy Clean brand came about. And then after that, I had just a bunch of people asking me what kind of soap I'm using, right? So I wasn't using anything fancy. So with those stickers, I send them out to anybody who, shows a clean picture of a tractor or combine. It doesn't matter, car pickup. And so my expenses for mailing those stickers were really, really amounting to quite a bit, where I was like, oh my gosh, I got to do something here. So actually we had the crazy idea where we're like, okay, let's build the soap. So we actually hooked up with the manufacturer, because I'm not a chemist, but I know what I like in a soap. So we actually had them do the soap for us. And then I just started direct selling it to John Deere dealers on my own. We started with a few dealerships in Southern Ontario. Actually, most of them jumped on board. And then, me and my dad just went on a road trip with everybody I met from Twitter with the whole Andy Clean thing. And so we hit up about, I think, 7 dealerships all the way. We went to Iowa, Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota, and back. And we actually we got 6 of the 7 dealerships. They signed up with us and started taking the soap. And then we just had other dealerships calling us saying, hey, we'd like to be a part of this. Ones I've never even met or talked to before. And that's where it kind of went. And then actually we ended up getting a part number inside of John Deere that was officially this past December. So, and then by the time we had everything ready to get soap to them, that was February. So yeah, so that's kind of a little bit about our soap and our business.
That is super cool, Andy, and I can hear it in your voice how excited you are about this, and I don't blame you at all. This is super exciting. But what's been your favorite part or a moment about this adventure with John Deere and Andy Clean Soap? Maybe one thing in particular, maybe it was that first breakthrough with John Deere or something. What was that like for you?
Yeah, actually, the whole John Deere thing has been really, really cool because I've never, I've always been a John Deere fan, like my whole life, like ever since I was one, I believe. I got a picture that I tweeted the other night. I was playing with the tractor. I was 1 year old. And yeah, like I've always been a John Deere fan, but like we run both colors on our farm, right? So it's not like we're 100% John Deere. My dad's more of a Case guy. So yeah, but the real thing about this, the best thing is, it's actually, yeah, John Deere's cool, but it's just the farmers and the regular people and the people from social media that we get to meet from this, right? And that's the best part, 100%, right? Because it was actually all the people on social media, Twitter mostly, who actually built this company by just tweeting Andy Clean stuff, right? So they're the ones who actually gave me the motivation and everything to actually do this, where I would have never done that without their help, right? So when I talk about Andy Clean, I always say we, because truthfully, it was the community on Ag Twitter who built the whole Andy Clean brand. So that's the real cool part. That's the part I like best.
That is super fun. And Andy, are you nationwide between Canada and the United States, or are you just upper Midwest, Southern Canada? What's that look like?
No, so it's every John Deere dealer in North America can get the soap, right? So now, mind you, parts guys, not all of them know about Andy Clean, but it's in the parts system.
Yes.
If you walk in there, if it's not in the store, they can get it.
I had to push my local guys.
And fun.
I said, do you have Andy Clean soap yet? And they're like, got what? So
yeah,
I'm not going to say I single-handedly brought it to town, but I did give them a hard time till it happened.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome because, yeah, I get a lot of guys going in saying, hey, the parts guy looked at me like I had three heads when I said Andy Clean soap. I'm like, yeah, I know. I get that quite a bit, but it takes time. So now they know, right? So yeah.
And I know
we've only really been doing this. This is it marks about year one in March, right? So yeah, we've been doing it for about a year and a few months. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And who knows where it goes? I don't know. We've kind of have plans where we'd like it to go, but if it ends tomorrow, it's been one heck of a journey, and I've met a ton of great people from it. So yeah, it's been priceless, right? So.
Well, yeah, that's the super cool and fun part about it. Here's your next step you should take, Andy, is since you got, parts number with John Deere and whatnot, you should talk to them and the people over at Giant or Giant Softwares and somehow get either like a brand name or maybe a product, your product with the pressure washers, and put it into the farming simulator games with the John Deere logo.
I know, actually, it's funny. So everything comes from Twitter, right? So I said, hey, you guys need some Andy Clean soap in there, but unfortunately they haven't got back to me yet, but that's okay. It takes time, right? So yeah.
Okay, so it's not just for equipment. We've used it on a fish house. I know there's folks that have used it on vehicles because I see tons of vehicles posted. Anything that was really unique where you got an Andy Clean hashtag on it after someone used your product?
Oh, yeah. So on our product, not like we've done houses. Like you can wash your house with this soap. Anything you want, like as far as washing, like as long as it's vehicles, any kind of equipment, houses, stuff like that, our stuff is 100% safe on it, right? Like we do have some chemical warnings because, you got to have something in there to make it, really work, right?
Right.
But we still recommend just using it like a regular soap. I recommend still scrubbing it because we've tested all kinds of soaps and there really isn't a soap that is 100% scrubless or brushless. right? So,
Right.
so yeah, but as far as, I would say a house or a fish, your fishing hut, right?
Fish house?
So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Now,
Definitely.
I will say, and Andy and I maybe don't recommend this, but we were at Farm Progress Show in Iowa last year, and afterwards there was a social media event, and a mutual Twitter friend of ours, he got washed. Like, they were washing a combine in this shop's wash bay, and he was up on the ladder. He got washed too. So maybe not do that on a regular basis.
No, you'll read. And I probably shouldn't have did that at the time, but I've got to.
No.
I'm not going to do any recommendations. Don't wash people with it because it does have the chemical warnings on it. So yes, but I've got enough on me where I know it's. But still, I don't recommend washing people with it. We'll have to work on body wash, right?
Right. Work on, the
Hey,
Andy
there you
body
go.
wash. I like it.
That's right. Yeah.
Fresh tractor scent.
Yeah,
Brand new
exactly.
tractor scent.
Yeah, new tractor scent.
Now,
Would that be great?
before we run out of any time, cucumbers. All right, Andy, I raise cucumbers and make a few jars of pickles at my house every year, like 75 quarts or so. But how do you raise cucumbers? How are you planting them? How are you harvesting them? What's going on over there?
Yeah, so how we plant them is with a planter, just a corn planter, right? But we're in different row spacing. We're wider rows. And how we harvest, and so our area is big for cucumbers just because of our soil type. And so actually all the cucumbers that are grown around here, and they're all for processing, so they go for pickles or relish. Like the bigger ones go for relish, but you want to keep them smaller. So they're all hand picked, right? So that harvest lasts about 6 or 7 weeks, depending on the year, right? And it's actually a fairly easy crop to grow. We do have to spray fungus just to keep the disease on a bit, and it's a good way to, I guess, make your summer go by really fast, right? Because we normally only get a couple weeks from when we're done all our stuff with planting and everything till we start harvesting, right? So, and we also have peppers too. So the peppers follow the cucumbers. Once they're done, we'll start with them in September. So that's how we do cucumbers in a nutshell, right? So yeah.
Right. That's the short version of cucumber farming.
So you move further southwest Ontario, closer around the Chatham area, which is about an hour and a half from me. There's more machine harvest down that way. But with the hand, you just keep going over it, right? So they just keep coming back, and cucumbers, they grow like crazy, especially when it's hot and humid. So yeah.
Oh, that's
Wow.
I bet. I got a couple.
Go ahead, Justin. If not, I got a bunch of questions.
Go ahead and shoot, Bridgette.
Okay, so when you're harvesting and you've got it, how close are you to your delivery point? Because I'm going to guess you're not shipping these a great distance away as you're hauling in these fresh cubes.
No. Yeah, so how you take them in is with gravity boxes. So you don't want to be hauling them like 2 hours away, right? Because that will take forever. So the closest grading station we have, and there's 3 different ones in our area. So it's about 20 minutes. Well, going with the when you're pulling the gravity boxes, it takes you about a half an hour to get there, right? So it's not far away.
Okay.
So because you got to go a lot slower, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Andy, I got a couple part question here for you as we wrap up our last part of this segment with you. I want to know, and also this is kind of for you, what do you have to say to everyone out there, the community, the people that have supported you get this off the ground? And then where can people find you on social media? Any websites? Where can they find your product and get a hold of you? Anything like that you'd like to share?
Yeah. So like I probably tweet a little too much about how, I just thank everybody, right? And I know we'll never say we're the best soap out there, because what I didn't realize is just how many different soap companies there are, right? But ours is legit. But something doesn't have to, it doesn't have to use our soap to be Andy Clean, right? You can use whatever you want. and I've got no problem with that. And yeah, and basically, I just want to say thanks to everybody, because without their help, obviously, this would have never taken off. So that's the main thing. And you can find me on Twitter. So my Twitter handle is at @apastor82. That's the year I was born, 1982. So, and then I'm over on Instagram and Facebook as I am Andy Clean, because actually Andy Pasztour was already taken, so I couldn't use that.
What?
And then I know, right? And then
Fake
it's
news.
funny because yeah, and actually Andy Clean was already taken too. Like, oh my gosh!
What?
So yeah,
Wow,
it's funny because
unlucky.
so even our website is andyclean.ca, because we're from Canada, but actually andyclean.com was taken. So there's people out there who kind of buy websites if they find something that's kind of, trending a little, I guess. And then they say, oh yeah, you got to pay. So we didn't feel like paying $2,400 for .com. So it's andyclean.ca. So yeah, if you put in Andy Clean, it should come up on the Google search. So yeah, so that's our website.
Oh.
And as far as the product goes, any John Deere dealer across basically Canada and the U.S., they can get our product. And yeah, that's a little bit about our soap and me.
Awesome. Well, really appreciate it, Andy. Thanks for joining us. Had a lot of fun with this, and we're going to get caught up with the American Ag Network real quick. And when we come back, got another look at the forecast, and we still got our ag topics to get to. So stay tuned. Weather and Ag in Focus. We'll be right back.
Your friends at Alaris welcome you to enjoy all of the family, fun, food, and activities of Old Fashioned Saturday in Northwood, North Dakota, including the parade, street dance, 5K run walk, food booths, and more. Let your financial future take flight with Alaris. Alaris invites you to find your path to financial confidence. Visit Alaris online at alaris.com. Enjoy Old Fashioned Saturday with the team at Alaris. Have a great summer from everyone at Alaris.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing in me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new plan. Nothing is every day.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Watching the grain markets, this is the American Ag Network. I'm Jesse Allen with this market update. Joining us now, Arlen Suderman with StoneX for market analysis. Arlen, plenty of volatility continuing in this market with weather on one side and the Russia-Ukraine war on the other. What's your view of the grains here today?
Yeah, the first thing that we saw is Russia began to bomb some of the pork facilities in Ukraine, which would make it difficult for them to continue with the initiative in the absence of Russia, was a panic by the speculative funds who held large short positions, especially in Chicago wheat and in corn market, and the others just kind of went along with that, kind of riding the tide of the buying strength. And the momentum trading algos were certainly there riding that tide as well. And now that many of those shorts that wanted to get out of the market, those hold and sold positions, now it's time to evaluate, okay, just what is the shortage of grain? Do we have a shortage of grain? Well, In the short term, we don't. This is more of a long-term concern. So how much does that factor into the market? The United Nations Security Council has called a meeting for tomorrow to discuss the problem. That leaves a lot more questions, maybe creates a lot more questions for the markets longer term. What might the United Nations do? How might President Putin of Russia respond to what they might do? How might things escalate through all of this? What may they do to stop escalation? So there's a lot of questions, but one thing it does say is that if world leaders are worried about a humanitarian crisis coming out of this, quote unquote, which is the words used, then they need to be paying attention to it. So while we're seeing some consolidation following the short covering of the last couple of days, we're certainly not seeing a big sell-off by any means. If anything, maybe a little bit of farmer selling to provide a little bit of pressure on prices, but that's about it.
That's Arlen Suderman of StoneX on the American Ag Network. I'm Jesse Allen.
Welcome back to WDAY Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Bridgette Readel, Ag Director. Hopefully he's happy to be here. Justin Storm, meteorologist extraordinaire.
I don't know. I got a brand new pressure washer that I want to start playing with, so yeah, I'm happy.
Hey, there's some Andy Clean soap at my house, just so you know.
I need some now. I gotta clean my deck. It's so filthy. And I'll slap an Andy Clean sticker right on top of it.
Got one of those too. I bet Andy will send us more if we ask. That'd be sweet.
Lucky you.
All right. Well, now, what would you like to talk about?
Well, I think that we should hit a couple of ag topics here, and let's talk about the anthrax in Minnesota.
All right. So this is in Kitson County, Minnesota, and my sources in Kitson County tell me that this is the first time in 22 years that they have seen it. Most herds are vaccinated for anthrax when it comes to cattle, horses, sheep, etc., but you must make sure to also vaccinate before you take them to pasture. Anthrax is indeed most prevalent in the summer months. Those spores, they're a bacillus I got to find the real name of it. Bacillus anthrax. I got to make sure to actually read the list. So it's not uncommon to see cases like this reported every year. It is a spore that's in the soil with heavy rain, ponding water, or even with excavation, with moving dirt. You will see anthrax appear in grazing animals. Often you don't know what's going on until the animal dies, and you've got to have a vet do the diagnostics. So there's yet another question for Dr. Emily Fox, who I'm going to have to book for August, Justin. We've got a lot piling up for Emily to answer, don't we?
I know, don't we?
And so anthrax, again, we see it happen from time to time. The last big case in North Dakota was in 2021 in Kidder County. Prior to that, in 2005, there were more than 500 confirmed deaths from anthrax, and that actually took total losses of 1,000 head, including cattle, bison, horses, sheep, llamas, and some farmed deer and elk. So it's not a surprise. Those animals can be vaccinated, and this should probably be back down in lower numbers here quite quickly. So that's what we know about anthrax.
So here's a question for you on this, because this is a bacterial infection that causes anthrax. You said they can get vaccinated for it, but is this something like the flu that the animal can fight off with help and recover, or is this kind of a fatal thing? If you get it, you're kind of SOL with the cattle and livestock?
You know, I think if you're vaccinated, you're in pretty good shape. But it would be tough for an animal to fight that off with their own systems. Now, again, if we get Dr. Emily to visit with us, which I'm going to have to ask her on pretty quickly here, well, that's one of the questions we'll maybe want to visit about, is with anthrax spores and what she's seen in her practice. Because, again, it's not very common, but yet can indeed happen from time to time. So great questions we'll want to make sure to get our expert opinion on. That'd be ideal.
Yeah, definitely. We'll want to probably get some answers on signs to look for and, keep an eye on. Well, it's kind of on the same general topic. Let's talk a little bit about pasture management for great grass for your livestock.
Well, first of all, it comes down to knowing what's in your pasture. Maybe you've recently gotten new pasture and you got to take a little look-see. Are you looking at cool season grasses, warmer season grasses? When are they coming up? When's the best time to be grazing in that pasture, or when should you avoid that particular pasture for grazing so that you're getting the most maximum benefit on your animals from the grass that's available? If you have a weed problem, are you going to use herbicides for that, or will there be a different control method, a cultural practice like clipping it or mowing or something along those lines? And if you're going to do that, then you have to be able to plan to take your pasture out of rotation to let the grass recover before you would put animals back in there, because you never want to overgraze. More fertilizer is happening on pastures. It's something that you definitely want to understand, again, your grasses very clearly before you jump into that realm, but it can be done. We have seen that happen quite a bit, as well as adding some fertilizer when the timing is right. So paying attention to what's going on in your pastures is not just a one-stop deal. You can't just look at it one time and walk away. There's a lot that will continue onward.
Yeah, I bet. And can you hit in like 30 seconds to 45 seconds confusions about animal welfare, or do we need more time for that one?
We probably need some more time for that one. We can do that one coming up, but by all means, we don't want to skip the weather. It's the weekend, Justin.
Yeah, I know. We're coming up on the weekend, and we got a couple of really nice days out there, and one of them is today. Lots of sunshine. In spots, there are a little bit more clouds than sunshine across eastern North Dakota, but for most, we'll just consider it partly cloudy today. Temperatures right now are 76 degrees. We have north winds at 14 miles per hour, and we'll see those winds for the most part staying around 10 to 20 miles per hour. But of course, we'll probably see a couple stray or occasional gusts that break over that 20-mile-an-hour threshold, but low to maybe mid 20s is about as strong as that wind will ever be for the rest of today. We're on our way to highs right around 80, and then we'll cool things down to the upper 50s for tonight, and another nice day follows on Friday. But as I said at the beginning of the show, there will be several little isolated showers around the area, but not everyone will see them, and they'll be quick moving, so it may only rain for like 10 or 20 minutes maybe, and then it'll pass overhead and the sunshine will come back out. Highs tomorrow are in the lower to mid 80s, west northwest winds 5 to 15, gusting to 20. And for your Friday night, partly cloudy, lows once again right around 60 degrees. As for our upcoming weekend, Sunday will be our pick day, and I only say that because Saturday will be a little breezier with gusts to about 20, maybe 25 miles per hour. We're still going to have highs in the mid 80s though. There will just be a slight chance for an isolated shower, but it'll favor east of the river over into Minnesota. And as for Sunday, I don't have any rain in the forecast. Lots of sunshine, mid to upper 80s. And as for next week, well, it's going to feel a little bit more like Hawaii and Arizona mixed together, because it's going to turn really humid, and we got temperatures in the mid to upper 90s. So get ready for some summertime heat returning to the northern Great Plains. But that'll wrap it up for us here on Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm going to go play with my brand new pressure washer. Everyone enjoy the Jake Thomas Show, which is coming up next.